Yo, what's up, gang? I'm a computer science student, and I feel like I should probably talk about my experiences as a student in computer science. I'm not sure if I'm about to get hated. I'm not sure I'm about to get clowned on. I'm not the perfect developer. I'm far from it. I need way more years of experience to call myself a professional, or I guess by any means good at what I do. I think I'm okay, in all seriousness, but that's besides the point. I'm just going to tell you my experience of being a student and what it's like. I'm attending an American university. Which university? Haha, good luck figuring it out, nerds. I have been, I guess, struggling. Not in the sense of like grades. I think I'm doing okay. I'm holding above a 3.0. Some people look at that and think that's shit. That's garbage. The reality is people don't give a fuck. Which is, I know it's a bit weird, especially because I'm like a student and people are like wondering, yo, grades are very important. They are. As long as you have above a 3.0, no one really cares. I was literally talking to someone who got a job and his recruiter actually made fun of him for having a 4.0. Imagine that. Imagine being told you had a 4.0? Wow, you had no life then, huh? I guess by that logic, I think I have the right to be, or at least feel okay. But besides that, my grades are decent. They're not bad. I'm a terrible test taker, unfortunately, and I just have to figure out how to do it. My time as a student was interesting. I guess it's more unique than most people because I'm a college transfer student. I started in the community college before transferring to another college. I don't think I've ever been more unprepared in my life for anything. The whiplash I had transferring into a 4-year institution was absolutely insane. And unfortunately, the department was kind of shit. I had a really good professor, and I think this is the reason why I fell in love with programming. I was so, like, distraught at one point in my life. Like, I was, like, depressed. I didn't know what to do. And I was talking to a therapist, and they said, hey, why don't you try computer science? At this moment, I hated computer science, so obviously, the first thing I did was start my degree in computer science. That isn't a joke. That is actually 100% real. That is 100% real, and that's what happened. I started my degree. Or started schooling, I mean. Went to my local community college. But unfortunately for me, I fell in love with programming probably in the worst time of my life. Or worst time, period, I guess. When I first started it, I absolutely hated it. Like, it wasn't fun. So, when doing my classes, at least my first class, I did not have fun. It was remote, and it was terrible. I just copied and pasted everything from the internet. And I think my fucking computer logged me out. I'm on Linux right now, and so it decides to just do that. Yes, I know I'm one of those guys. Don't worry. I'm going to talk about how Linux users are schizophrenic in a moment. But besides that, the learning environment that I was in was terrible. And unfortunately, it really does feel like it doesn't change. The environment itself, albeit new, it's just the same shit everywhere else. So when I fell in love with programming, my professor put it in perspective. It's kind of funny because I actually did forget what he said. But I really think about it now, it doesn't matter what he said. What really matters was the fact that, I guess what I'm trying to say is, I like building. I love to put things together. I had so much fun putting my computer together. I loved Legos when I was a kid, and now I'm an adult. And I don't really do Legos anymore because I don't have money for it. Yeah, haha, laugh at me. But besides that, after that was put in perspective for me about like how like programming can be equivalent to building, it just made me want to learn more. I didn't start like any personal projects yet, but I think I did good enough those classes. By the way, I think I had like a 3.5 for my major GPA. My actual GPA was terrible. I was depressed as shit. So unfortunately that affected me. It really felt like there was no extracurriculars in my college. What I had to do was well, it wasn't me. I'm not gonna pretend it was me. But I ended up joining and helping a club grow. I was essentially the co-president at one point because I was not only just making decisions, I was also just helping the e-board out. And there was like an actual election, and I was voted in to be part of the e-board, which was very nice, but that's a little later down the line. When I took my first, I guess I'm gonna skip to my second semester of like classes because for whatever reason I could not tell you why, but the morons at the community college decided to split the intro class into 2 different courses. So when I'm taking the part 2 to my intro to computer science class, I had an exam. This exam was eye-opening for me. Why, you might ask? Well, to put it simply, I thought I was terrible at programming. I thought I knew nothing. I didn't know what to do. I was terrified. I walked in there, hand-written code. Some people may understand what I mean. Some people may just be like, it's not that bad. Some people don't even know what I'm talking about. Why would I ever write handwritten code? Let me tell you, writing handwritten code really proves to you that, just proves to everyone actually, that you know how to program. And I was one of 5 students to get above a 95. I think 3 students got a 100. I got a 98. I made like a minor mistake. I was really proud of myself. From that moment, it really did feel like I knew what I was doing. I knew what I wanted to do. This is it. I need like actual like experience, like real work experience to do this. But unfortunately, that might not happen. Or at least that might not happen anytime soon. I'm not gonna sit here and say I did no extracurriculars. As I mentioned earlier, I joined a club. I was a part of an e-board at one point. I was a part of this internship program. I did so much. Putting into words, it really feels like I did so little, but like the thing was, these were like year-long things. These wasn't just one semester. So yeah, I really did try my best. I really did whatever. My computer logged me out. I really did everything that I could have, I think. They really didn't prepare us in my community college. I got lucky when transferring into my my 4-year college because I got my associate's degree. It's done. It's over. I actually graduated. I went to, there's something called, you may have heard of this, especially from community college, instant acceptance for some colleges, of course. If you have like good enough grades, they'll just accept you instantly. And I'll never forget this. I saw the lady doing the instant acceptance, and my first immediate response was, alright, I have to impress this woman. I went up to her, asked her, my at the time, unfortunately, GPA was a 2.9, and she looked at it, I'm sorry, I can push it through, but that's about it. And then I just went, I want it. This is something I need to do, and I'm going to do it. And I just started telling her everything I've been doing. The internship, the club meeting, this, the that, and all that. And she looked at me wide-eyed, and she said, don't worry. I'll make sure they read your application. 3 days later, I got accepted. That was the first time I felt like I grabbed and held my future in my hands. It felt so wonderful. Everyone was applying everywhere, but I applied to one school because I didn't know I was even graduating that semester. After I got in, I did everything I could to graduate, and I did it. This is where things started to get, I guess, rough. When I finally moved in, I figured out how behind I actually was. I was spending almost all of my free time just playing catch up with everyone else because they had an actual proper education. And even though I say it's kind of shit now, the fact of the matter is I had to retake my intro class, and even I struggled with that at some point. You might be thinking, wow, it must be really that bad. No. No. The intro class itself was a weed out class. You might hear that and wondering, like, what the fuck do you mean it's a weed out class? It did everything it can to not make you want to do computer science. It wasn't even, like, difficult for me specifically, but I have friends who've been, like, crying, pulling all-nighters just trying to do the homework. Like, this is their first time, like, actually programming ever. While I had a breeze, my other classmates were just struggling. And there was 200-something people in that classroom. And even still, they made sure that everyone hated their degree. Now, well, already in it, doesn't matter for me. So, while I was playing catch up with everyone else, I was trying to teach myself, you know, other things. I didn't, you know, sit down with my thumb up my ass. I was actually trying to be somewhat productive. It's hard to learn something new while in class, so obviously, like, doing homework, friends, extracurriculars, it takes up a lot of your time, so I don't really have a lot of time to, like, do a lot of self-teaching. But whenever I'm on, like, spring break, for instance, I never forget this. I was on spring break, and within that week alone, I have taught myself Python, I have taught myself browser automation, and I've taught myself web scraping. It felt really good. It was like a moment that I had when I took that handwritten exam. I felt like this is something I could do. This is something I'm capable of. This is something I want to do for the rest of my life. Like, I love programming. But I don't know what's in it for me now. I'm at my last semester. My classes have just been hell, to put it simply. They weren't bad by any means. My algorithms course is probably, like, the easiest class I've ever taken in my life. You might hear that and, like, you're thinking I'm talking bullshit. No. I did learn in that class. I'm not telling you I didn't. But my professor just made it as easy as humanly possible for us. And if you really failed the class, you really just didn't do the homework. Right now, I'm taking the machine learning and 2 data science courses. And then I'm done with my degree. It's finally over. And I know nothing about data science. I know nothing about machine learning. Every time I'm in that classroom, it feels like I'm just playing catch up again. And there is nothing I could have done to prevent this. I mean, you could have just said, oh, I could have, you know, wasted my summers studying data science, you know. Yeah, unfortunately, I have a life, I have a girlfriend, I have other personal projects to do. It's not a matter of I was being lazy. It was a matter of I'm choosing to give myself a life, so I'm just holding myself back because of it. Fortunately for me, I'm not in an Asian country. Some people might think that's offensive. The reality is, children are killing themselves because of, like, schoolwork. This isn't a joke. You can even look it up now. It's really, really bad right now. So, am I mad at the fact that I feel, like, behind in these classes? No. Do I feel like I could have done more? No. Do I feel like the school could have done more? Yes. I'm not gonna blame my education on myself, because I do teach myself a lot of this shit outside of my classroom. I willingly do whatever it takes to just learn as much as I can about just general programming. So, no, it is not my fault. I'm not, like, already a wizard in data science, or I'm lucky to say I already have experience doing web scraping, data collection, and organizing. But that's not really gonna help me. And it doesn't. I'm not complaining at the fact that I'm taking hard courses. No. I'm not complaining at all. Some people will. Some people do. I'm just telling you my experience, and I didn't have to do this to myself, but this is kind of what I wanted. This is kind of what I wanted to do. I love automation. I love, like, getting things autonomized, and so unfortunately automation engineering is kind of a thing, but it's mostly been replaced by AI. So I guess I'm going the way of AI now. So that's how it is. I am doing this to myself willingly, not like accidentally. But despite all that, what is it for? What am I doing? I have taught myself so many useful skills for programming. I feel like a dumbass sometimes, but every time I get reminded by someone else, someone who's not in my field, just some third party, and just tell me, dude, you're like incredibly smart. How do you know all this? And I tell them I don't know. I want to tell them I don't know. I just say, yeah, it's what it is. I don't like putting myself up on like a pedestal. I am not that guy. I am just someone who wants to graduate from college. I'm someone who just wants to provide for my family, provide for my friends. I just want to be happy and want people around me to be happy. Life's been hard. I'm not getting political. I'm not doing any of this. Obviously, people can throw in politics and everything, but sometimes it's not just black and white politics. There's no such thing as black and white politics. And if you genuinely believe that, I'm sorry, I'm not going to listen to what you have to say. The fact of the matter is, why I'm just getting so, I guess, angry, just talking about, other random stuff that actually have nothing to do with this topic itself, is because I'm applying for jobs. I'm applying for so many fucking jobs. I did an application for several companies, some big names, some small names, some relative to my field. All of them required some hours worth of assessments. Hours. What am I doing? What am I doing here? What is going on? It has just been so hard applying for jobs. Some people have an easier time. I mean, listen, I've struggled with getting an internship, but despite my lack of internships, I've made several personal projects that will hopefully stand out more. Obviously, a paid position does work, and albeit I am working in an actual company right now, it might not be enough. So I'm doing everything that I can. I'm not trying to be like a doomer. I genuinely hate the doomer mindset mentality where people are just sad, angry all the time. Like, oh, I can't do anything about my situation, this, that, whatever. I want to be the best that I can be. I'm trying to do everything that I can to have a good future for myself, but it's demoralizing, it is tough, it is hard. I am trying my hardest. I'm doing what I can. I'm grateful for the people around me. But it's hard. I'm gonna keep doing this. I'm gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep doing everything that I can. Just so I can be happy. Just so I can do what I need to do. Some people may disagree with me, saying, no, I have to waste all my time advocating for this, that, whatever. No, that's just a waste of time. I want a happy future, I don't want to be part of something that doesn't matter to me. I guess I'm just scared. What if I lose everything? I don't want to just leave America. I'm grateful for the opportunity that I do have, because I can. That's a thing that people don't realize. Everyone has the opportunity to leave. Everyone's gonna realize that it's not much better outside of America. I have family who's willing to hire me, but the only issue is they want me out of state. They want me to be in their country. And I don't want to do that. That's required me to drop my entire life all of my friends, all of my family, or most of my family, for a living. What's living when you have nothing? I don't know. I really don't know. I didn't mean to make this so sad, but this is the reality of every computer science student. There are many like me, many worse than me, many better than me. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're in computer science either. You could do whatever it takes and still fail. And that's just life. And I think I've accepted that. Am I happy about it? No. No, not at all. I'm gonna do what I did when I got into my 4-year institution. I'm gonna grab my future by my hands and just hope something comes out of it. I'm not a professional. I'm not the perfect programmer. I make so many fucking mistakes. But that's what everyone else is. Just like me. People talk about scared of not getting a job, but they've done nothing in their university to warrant getting a job. Albeit, I don't sound much better, but hell, I have a job. I'm working using my knowledge as a programmer. Was it actually working as a programmer? Let me rephrase. I think it's better than most internships. I'm not trying to put you down, but you have to understand. In this life and this time period, you can't just walk in front of some building and expect them to grab you off the street. No. You have to actually try. And people might say, no, but I'm depressed, I was this and that. Suck it up. I was severely depressed for 6 years of my life. 6 years of my life, I couldn't speak to people. I couldn't talk to people. I was alone. It felt like I was alone, but I guess I was lucky. I just had some sort of aroma, I guess you can say, because I always just brought people together. People were always happy to see me, and I did everything that I could to overcome it. And after all of these years, I was finally able to overcome it. I'm now a better man than what I used to be. I know what my flaws are. I know what my positives are. What I need to do now is use everything that I've learned. Use everything that I've done to be the best that I can be. To be the happiest that I can be. I'm not going to keep crying. I'm not going to whine about whatever it is, how hard it is, this and that. Because life is hard. And I literally made a video about crying about how hard it is just being a student right now. Albeit I am a computer science student, so it's a little different for most people. But regardless, some people have it worse than me. Some people have it better than me. So what? We're all in the same shit. We're graduating and we're expecting to not even have a job. You might find it ironic that I say I'm not going to complain anymore. That I'm not going to do this and that when all I've done this entire video is complain, but that's what this is all about, though. This isn't like me telling you how you should feel. This is me telling everyone how I feel. This is like the closest thing I'm ever going to get to a journal. This is the best way I know to express myself. I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know what, when, which, that, this or this. I don't know. The only thing I know is life sucks. And I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing. There is no reason for me to just sit down and cry or keep crying. After I probably edit this down a little bit, I'm realistically just gonna be applying for more jobs and working on personal projects. That's all I have. That's all I'm gonna do. And hopefully, by the time I graduate, I'll be able to be the best that I can be. Get the job that I want. Who knows? Anyway, I'm just a guy who likes to talk, and I'll talk to you later. See you.